Hey guys, I'm Diana and I'm here once again to show you how to put together the Discover Tee. You might have seen me before. I did the Be Posh Bow tutorial, so if you haven't watched that yet, go ahead and go on over and watch it and make some bows with me. But today I'm here for the Discover, which is one of my favorite Ellie and Mac patterns. I have so many of them. I bought it and then all of a sudden I just make all the Discover tees, and I make some for my son too, and he loves them. But this one is one of my favorites. It's stretchy lace on the top and then the pretty floral on the bottom, and I wear a lot of black, so I kind of need to branch out and wear some other colors. Today I'm actually gonna make one with the black pineapple fabric because I do like the black, but I want to branch out, so I'm going to just put a little bit of the pineapple out there to help me be more summery. But there's so many different ways that you can make the Discover Tee. Like, for instance, this one is all straight, same color in the back and just changes in the front, just because I didn't want it all open everywhere. But, I mean, maybe it would have been a good idea because then it'd be, like, nice and cool and everything. Anyway, but, so there's just different ways that you can do it, and the way that I did this one, actually, before, when I went to cut the pattern, I just taped both of my back piece and the back lower piece together, and so when I cut the pattern, I just cut around it and made it one whole piece instead of the two separate pieces. But other than that, on this one, I'm going to make all the separate pieces. So I've got all the pieces together already. I've cut them out. I've got the sleeves, I've got the neckband, I've got the front, I've got the back, and I've got the two panels for the bottom side. So we're going to go ahead and get started. The first thing we're going to do is we have to take it and find the middle. So since it's caught on the fold, it's already pretty much folded, so that's good. And how I like to find the mark the center is by actually cutting a little notch. Now you probably, if you want to use pins or clips, that's just fine, but this is just what I like to do. This is what the friend that taught me how to sew, that's what she did, so that's what I do. So I just cut a little notch. Now I make it really, really tiny, so when I sew it together, it goes away. You won't even see it. So here it is. And then I'm going to do this exact same thing to the front, the top front. Again, this was folded on the cut on the fold, so it was already set for me, but I unfolded it, so I got to do it again. And you did the little trim. Now make sure, because I've done it before, make sure you do it on the bottom part. See, I didn't do it. I did it on the top part. Make sure you do it on the bottom part, because that's what you're going to be pinning. But that's how I roll. Doesn't work the first time, try again. That's all right. Okay, so now I've got my little notch, and now I'm going to match it up to my shirt. And you need to match right sides together. So the right side of the top is touching the right side of the bottom. I know knits is a little bit hard to figure out because they kind of look the same, but if you look closely, you can figure it out. Then you're going to pin it all the way to the end, to the armhole area. And what you can do is, sometimes I just like to pin it at the end and then go back and put a couple pins somewhere else because it moves on me. My little tomato trying to get in the shot. It's not about you, tomato. So yes, here we go. And to-do. Sorry, I don't like awkward silences. So it was got to be talking, saying something. Okay, there we go. We've got it. So I've pinned. Pin got me. I pinned all the way around, and now we're gonna go ahead and serge it. You can do a straight stitch. I have a serger, so I just go ahead and do my serger. My sewing machine, it does a straight stitch, but it's not that great. So I just go with my serger. There we go. You know, I love sewing with double brush poly because then they kind of stick to each other and I don't have to put so many pins in there. I hate moving the pins. Now some of you are going to say clips are so much better, and yes, I know, but I have so many pins. I just feel kind of weird getting clips. I feel like I'll be cheating on them. Oh, I usually have a trash bag back there, but I didn't. Okay, here we go. Now, it's together. So here's my front. Pineapples. And then I'm going to steam it to help the wobble leak. Sometimes it looks a little weird, but all you have to do is give it a good steam and it goes down. And as I steam it, I pull it tight a little bit. Much better. Now, at this point, if you'd like to, you can top stitch around the where they meet right here. Top stitch right there. And that gives it a really clean, neat look. But I don't have a cover stitch, and like I said, my stretch stitch on my machine is not super stretchy, so I'm not going to chance it. I think it looks just fine without it, and also for sake of time. So we're just going to go ahead and move on now. I've done exactly the same thing to my back piece. Marked the middle, the center, pinned it, sewed all along the edges, and steamed it. So now what we're going to do is we're going to put the front and the back, we're going to put them together. So we're going to do that at the shoulder seams. So we're going to match them up. Match those shoulder seams. And pin. Pin, 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 pin. Oh my. That's embarrassing. I don't know where that came from. Anyway, yeah, we pin. Sorry, guys. Like I said, awkward silences. Usually my son likes to come in here when I'm sewing, and he'll talk to me forever. He's just like me, he loves to talk. But right now, he's watching a movie. So if the movie's on, it's more important than I am, I guess. Okay, here we go. So now, after I pin them, I'm going to go ahead and sew them together. Again, I'm using my serger. And this time what I did is, one second, hold on. What I like to do sometimes, because I hate pins and removing pins, is I sometimes put them lower down, so that way they're still keeping the fabric together, but they're not in my way, so that when I'm serging, I don't have to move them. Now you have to be careful. You always have to keep an eye out, because if you run over a pin, that can be very dangerous. So that's what I did. So now I just remove them when I'm done. That way I don't have to be removing every single one the whole time I'm sewing. Okay, so here we go. Now it's attached to the top right here. Next, we're going to go ahead and move on to the sleeves. I'm going to open it up. Right side facing you. And here's my sleeve. Now, I'm doing short sleeves because it's summer and it gets pretty hot down here in Georgia. And so I'm going to go ahead and do short sleeve. But the pattern comes with 3/4 sleeve and long sleeve cut chart thingy. So you can do whatever you like. Again, I'm going to go ahead and find the center. It's on the fold, so it's really easy. And I clipped it. And now I'm going to put it right on the center seam. Here it is. Ooh, it's coming together. So easy. I love this. You know, one of the things before I started sewing, I was always so scared because I thought, oh man, that is going to be so hard. It's going to take forever. I don't know how to do it. It looks so scary. But, you know, once I started, I realized it really isn't that scary. It really is super easy, especially when you have a great pattern company like Ellie and Mac, who design just awesome patterns. You know, they go through the testing period and all these things to make sure that they're going to fit just right, so that you don't have to worry about the fit or any of that stuff. You just print it, tape it, cut it, and So easy. And these videos, so helpful. So I'm pinning it all the way around, just going slowly, matching the raw edges together. All the way to the end. There we go. On this one, I do have to put them kind of close to the edge because I want them to stay still. But it's all right, I guess. Here we go. Search time. I almost took a pin out. Here we are. One sleeve is on. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Ah! Can you say easy peasy pineapple squeezy? I don't know. You're gonna squeeze pineapple, do we? Do pineapples get squished when they make pineapple juice? I don't know. That's a good question. Random question, I guess. Whew. All right, next sleeve, same thing. Cut it. Well, not cut it, pin it, mark it, however you want to do it. At the middle. There it is. Whoop, there it is. And put it right at the crease, center crease. And we go around. Go around. This is so cool. It's like every time I make something new, I'm always like, yeah, I'm cool. I made something. But when people ask me, like I'm at the restaurant, a store, whatever, and people are like, oh, I like your dress. And I'm like, thank you. Yeah. And then I'm always like, oh, should I tell them I made it? Should I not? And I always feel self-conscious. I'm like, I don't want them to think that I'm like, oh, look, I made my dress. But I'm also so proud of it. So I'm like, I don't end up saying anything most of the time. I get nervous. And then I start to sing. Oh my goodness. Sorry, guys. Okay, here we go. Serging the next sleeve. So I don't know how that works. Like, you know, like when people type, like there's words per minute. Is there like, ooh, I keep knocking that table. Is there like a something per minute? Because I'm very slow sometimes. Please don't judge my slowness. All right, here we go. Now I'm going to turn it inside out. Ooh, there's my shirt, almost done. It's looking good. And now I'm gonna match up the sides and the sleeves. So what I like to do first, I like to match up this little area right here, which is like the armpit area, because there's that in the front and in the back. And you know, if you make it straight like this one did, it didn't have that, is because of being the back. But if it does, if it's too different, I do like to match that up first so that the seams are all together. I don't want to have them all mismatch. I like to see it clean and neat. And I've even seen some store-bought stuff, I don't know, that are not matched very evenly. So that's kind of one of those things that I'm like, please match it. That's what I like to do. So all the way to the sleeve, and then we go all the way down to the bottom. Matchy match. Matchity match match. Guys, I can't get over Wacky Wednesdays. It's crazy the deals you can get at Ellie and Mac on Wacky Wednesdays. Well, here when she posts it is actually Tuesday night, my time. And I'm like sitting by my phone, like swiping it, you know, like reload. Is it on yet? I want to know what's on there. What can I get today? Always. There's always a couple patterns in there. And you know what? The neat thing too is that there's some new patterns on there too. It's not just like old patterns that you might already have. Some new patterns are on there too. And then when she releases new patterns, it's always such good deals. Yes. My PayPal account is Ellie and Mac. I lie. There's also fabric in there. Lots of fabric. It's okay. Keeps me sane. What would you rather me do? Shop for fabric? Go crazy? Right? Anyone else? Raise your hand if you feel the same way I do. I'm watching. All right. That took a while. So now I am all pinned up. Oh, pinned up. Haha. Okay. Sides and sleeve and middle armpit piece. Whew. Tongue twister. All right, here we go. So now we're gonna sew it up. I like that most of this is done on a serger, so I don't have to worry. Just set my serger up, and here we go. This fabric likes to roll, so I'm trying to unroll it so I got even sides. I was seriously just pulling pins like a maniac, so there's pins all over my feet right now. And I am barefooted. So I always make sure I look at my shirt and make sure that I actually cut all the seams, the front and the back seam. Because every once in a while I go off and I don't catch it, and then I have a hole. So I'd rather just catch it now before I check it out. You guys probably don't do that, it's just me. Right? Maybe not. Yeah, maybe. Okay. Awesome possum. every time. Okay. All the way done. Guess what? We're almost there. Look at this beautiful thing. Love it. Okay, now all I've got left to do is hem. We'll just turn it up and hem it. You can do that with a top stitch, cover stitch, or you can do it with a stretch stitch on your sewing machine. Really, it's up to you. And then last but not least is the neckband. So what you're gonna do first is you're gonna put right sides together. See the long way? You're gonna put the short sides right sides together. And you're going to sew at the raw edge. Hey, just so you guys know, I painted my nails just for you. They were a mess. Didn't think you'd like to see that. Appreciate nice nails, right? Okay, and then now what you're gonna do is you're gonna fold it long ways. Here it is. Fold it wrong sides together so that the right sides are showing. Because this is a thin material, it's flimsy to work with, so I'm going to go ahead and go along and steam it. Just got a mouthful of steam. Steam it. You know, it's really cool because this shirt is awesome with panels. And I'm not doing a panel today, but if you got some cool panels you want to put on there, this is an awesome shirt for that. And then also, you know, like your little ones, when they start growing out of their favorite t-shirts, awesome for that too. Feel like it's a different option than the raglan. Hold for technical difficulties. There we go. Problem solved. Okay. Now, I'm going to go ahead and find, this is my edge, and then I'm going to quarter it. Oop, I don't think I steamed it very good right there. It keeps wanting to fold. Alright, here we go. We're going to quarter. And I also like to do the clip method with my bands. Just a really tiny clip, because then when I'm pulling it through my serger, you know, you pull the pins out, so you don't really realize, oh shoot, where was it? Well, it happens to me. I don't know if it happens to everyone, but it happens to me. And so with the clip method, I see my little clip-ins, which also make a mess. There's clippings everywhere. That's what the vacuum is for, right? And then I'm going to quarter my shirt. What I'm going to do is I'm going to meet the seams, the shoulder seams together. And here I go to the front, shoulder seams together. Here's the front. And this is, you know what? I had already done the notch right there. Remember earlier when I made the mistake? And I did it on the top rather than the back? Well, there it is. And I'm going to do the same thing. Seams, back. Then I'm going to put the two little notches that I already made, or pins if you pinned it, or clip if you clipped it, together. And I'm going to go out to the side, match the raw edges, out to the side, and here's my side little seam, clip, and I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. You guys bearing with me? I hope so. Add the other side. There it is. Little clippings. Now I'm going to put the neckband. Oh man, I keep bumping that. Long legs. Right sides together. And I'll use the pins to pin it If you got clips, go on with your bad self. So here we go. I am matching up the spots I marked. Awkward silence. It's okay. Alright, match. All done. Now, how I like to put my neckband on, I like to do, and there's, you know, you might have your own tricks, but I like to do the neckband facing up out of the serger. So I can see, you know, when it's facing down, I can't see how much of the neckband I'm eating. And so I like... Oh, my serger is eating. So I like to do it at the front so that way I can really see it. And then I know, okay, I need to back up a little bit. So I like to do it that way. And so then I'll put it on my serger and I'll be pulling my neckband to match my shirt. It's just going to be a tiny little bit of stretch, not very much. You got to do it. I do it kind of slow just because I'm a scared cat. Let's bring you closer. Okay. Here we go. So I start at the back because there's already a seam there. Don't want to have a bunch of little seams everywhere. And here we go. I'm stretching that one a little bit, and I'm making sure I like to kind of hold it right there with my other two fingers, making sure they're together because there's three things. Pull pin out. Okay, next quarter. Again, I make sure I put them together, raw edges together. There we go. Then out. Next one. And if you did the little clip, you can see it. That it's together over there. Hold it tight right there. Not tight, I mean just hold it. Just make sure they're lined up. Neckbands used to torture me, but since I do them facing up like this, usually they turn out pretty good. I say this now, and you know, this will be the time that it turns out horrible. And you'll be like, ha ha. No, I hope not. There you go. You guys are kind. You wouldn't do that to me, would you? And you would just tuck in the tail. Let's look at this neckband. Ooh, there's my giant finger. Here we go. Neckband done. So now I'm going to use my iron. I'm going to steam it. And it looks perfect. Yay. Now, I'll tuck this one in. And if you want to, you can top stitch all around, which gives it a clean look. And my shirt is done. Thank you guys for coming along with me on this journey. I hope you enjoyed it. I will go ahead and hem and take a picture so you can see how it turned out. But thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you had fun. Let me know what other tutorials you'd like to see me do. But go make some discoveries. They're so awesome. Bye.